Hey everybody, I'm Elon Osborne, and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about movies, audio, and music. But more specifically, folks, Costco did it again. If you haven't seen my video for building a brand new Dolby Atmos system for less than $1,000 US, I mentioned that most, if not all, components can be purchased at a ridiculous price from Costco, especially during the holidays. But if you're still listening to movies and shows through your TV speakers, or want to upgrade your budget home theater to the next level, buckle up folks, I'm about to take you on a wild ride. This is going to be a list of new components that will keep you under the $1,500 mark. But as we go along, I will throw in a few alternatives that might cost a little bit more in case you want to spend a little more. Or if you like to bargain hunt on Craigslist or eBay for that matter, awesome. This is more of a foundation or a jumping off point, which you can then tailor to your specific needs. Here we go.
1.
First off, the central piece of your entertainment is going to be your audio video receiver, since you will control your speakers from it, switch between your 4K Blu-ray player or streaming device, or stream music from it. To make this a baseline Dolby Atmos system, you're going to need a receiver that has at least 7 channels, since you're dealing with 3 speakers in front, 2 surrounds, and 2 height channels. So I would recommend the Sony STR-DH790, which usually retails for about $350 US.
Side note.
Depending on the time of year, you might also be able to get the Denon AVR-S760H for the same price or maybe even less. But it normally retails for $499 US. Or if you want to stick with Sony, the STR-DN1080 is the best in its class by far, but it normally retails for $599 US. Or if you want to jump even a little step further,
oh sure,
there's the Marantz NR1710, which usually retails for $749 US. Because when you're dealing with Marantz, that's when you're dipping your toe slightly into audiophile territory. So getting a Marantz 7.2 channel receiver under $1,000 is actually quite the bargain.
2.
Here's the most insane part about this bundle, because Costco has this particular speaker system for an incredible price all year long. But even better still, see how some items on Costco's website say member only? The bundle that I'm going to tell you about has items that are not member only. So anyone could buy them, not just Costco members. So on their website, they sell the Klipsch 5.0.2 reference Dolby Atmos surround system for $899 US. This includes 2 R625FA floor standing speakers, 1 R52C center channel speaker, and 2 R41M bookshelf speakers. Here's why $899 US is a ridiculous price for this entire package. The R625FA speakers are not your ordinary tower speakers. They are Dolby Atmos speakers with built-in upward firing speakers that bounce the height channel audio off the ceiling. And unlike some soundbars that offer weak upward firing speakers just as more of a gimmick, these upward firing speakers have a 5.25 inch woofer. So it's like Klipsch took their R51M bookshelf speaker and shoved it into the top of an R26FA tower speaker. But get this, the R625FA speakers normally retail for $689.
That sounds reasonable.
Each.
Oh.
No matter which retailer you look at online, Crutchfield, B&H Photo, Adorama, across the board, $689 each. If you were to get this same bundle, getting all the speakers separately at retail price, it would be a whopping $1,956 US. Costco doesn't have a whole lot to offer when it comes to home theater speakers, but what they do have is at such a bargain price, it's criminal.
3.
Since that Costco bundle is 5.0.2, that 0.0 means that it does not come with a subwoofer. Costco to the rescue again! They sell this R12SW subwoofer, which is a 12-inch monster, for only $250 US. And just a reminder, you don't have to be a member to get this subwoofer online at Costco.com. I've sung my praises about the subwoofer that comes with the reference theater pack. And that's only an 8-inch downward firing subwoofer. So I can only imagine what a 12-inch subwoofer will do to my walls.
Note.
Since the receivers that I mentioned previously can all handle 2 subwoofers, I would recommend getting 2 if you can. But being an audio engineer, I am the last person that's going to tell you to just crank those 2 subwoofers up to max volume. No, I just mean that having 2 subwoofers is going to fill your home theater space more evenly than one. To be able to get to all those nooks and crannies and around all your furniture so that you don't have any dead spots. Because it's always better to have 2 subwoofers working at 50% than it is 1 subwoofer cranked all the way up to 100%. So if you can, do it. But if you can't, that R12SW is still a beast on its own.
4.
Since these are good old-fashioned passive speakers, you're going to need some speaker wire to hook those up to the receiver. The Costco bundle does say that it comes with 5 sets of speaker wire, which is cool for 5 speakers. But as you can see here, the tower speakers each have 2 sets of speaker terminals to account for those upward firing speakers as well. So just doing some quick math here, 2 terminals on each tower speaker and 1 terminal on the center speaker adds up to 5. So you'll have to get extra speaker wire anyway for the 2 surround sound speakers.
Thanks, Costco?
Anywho,
Uh-huh.
the manual does say that those speakers can handle 16 to 12 gauge wire. Honestly, I think 16 gauge is just a little bit too thin for my taste. So I'm just gonna go for the happy medium and get 14 gauge. Because 12 gauge is super thick and it's very expensive because of it. But also make sure and get copper wire. Yes, it is more expensive than aluminum speaker wire you might find out there, but it's a much better conductor of electricity than aluminum.
5.
Honestly, there's not much to say about speaker placement because in this particular system, since you have those upward firing speakers, you don't have to actually mount the height channels. But one thing I did recommend is for those tower speakers to be towed in just slightly to get a better stereo image. Other than that, like a traditional 5.1 system, it is recommended to put those R41M surround speakers just to the sides of the main listening positions, close to a wall, or slightly behind and to the sides of the main listening position. A subwoofer's placement isn't as crucial though because you mainly feel those low frequencies. But since there is an airflow port on the rear of the R12SW subwoofer, it's recommended that you have it about 6 to 12 inches away from a wall.
Recap.
So we got the Sony STR-DH790, which is about $350, the Klipsch reference Dolby Atmos surround system, which is $899, and 1 Klipsch R12SW subwoofer, which is $250, which gives us a total of $1,499 US. But guess what? Sometimes that R12SW subwoofer is on sale for $169 at Costco. So that would bring the total down to $1,419. It'll cost extra to get some speaker wire or maybe some mounts to mount them to the wall, but then again, maybe not. Like I said before, that bundle comes with 5 sets of speaker wire, which includes 3 15-foot and 2 25-foot speaker wires. So that just might be enough if you cut them to your desired lengths. But if you do need to get additional speaker wire, Monoprice is a good brand for that. And maybe you do end up wanting to mount those R41M bookshelf speakers to a wall. I've read that these mounts from VideoSecu are a perfect fit for a good price.
Link in description.
When it comes to Dolby Atmos systems and not having to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars, I'm telling you, Costco is king. My last bit of advice is to kind of mess around with those crossover frequencies when you're dealing with those tower speakers. THX recommends a crossover frequency of 80 Hz in any home theater system. But when you're dealing with tower speakers that can handle bass on their own pretty well, you don't want to take all of that bass away. So something like a crossover frequency of 50 to 60 Hz for the tower speakers might be the sweet spot.
All right.
But as we all know, audio is subjective. So use those ears and tune your home theater to your own liking. But if you're still listening to first off, the central
What?
switch between
Cool. Yes, please stay hydrated.
ha
No,
ha
don't. Uh-oh. Gazoon tight.
But if you can't, that no. But if you can't, that R12.
You can do it. Yes.
It is recommended that it is. Anywho, the speakers do. No. Anywho. The Costco bundle does say that it comes with 5 sets of speaker wire. Speaker with a G. S-P-E-A-G-E-R. Speaker. So there you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown and are excited to upgrade your home theater system from budget to just a little bit more. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on another video like this one. And of course, always be listening.